And there's a look at North America's busiest highway. That's a look west along Highway 401. And hey there, it is Thursday, August 15th. The time is just before 4 p.m. and the temperature right now is around 27 degrees Celsius, so it's a bit of another hot one here in Toronto. And to be more specific, I am in North York. And this is Avenue Road, which terminates to the north, just at those streetlights up there. And I've got with me the Move-In Mini folding e-bike. And in this one, I'm gonna hop on the e-bike and I'm gonna head south down Avenue Road and ride into downtown where it becomes Queen's Park. And then south of College, it'll be University Avenue, and then south of Front will be on York Street. If traffic's really bad, I might divert around there. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll be riding down to the lake, and I think the entire ride will be something in the neighborhood of 13 kilometers or so, at least from here down to the lake. And this group of lanes on the left are the express lanes, and on the right are the collector's lanes. I've already got my camera, or at least the camera that I'm going to use to record this ride, fired up and ready to go. That way I don't have to fiddle with it on the side of a busy road, and things can get kind of hairy at times on Avenue Road, so let's hope we can avoid some of the fun. Anyways, it's time to hop on the bike and get moving. I just did a quick check to make sure my gear was still recording. And away we go. There may be some vehicles looking to jump on the 401 going eastbound here. So you always have to be careful riding by on and off ramps. That BMW had no intentions of coming to a complete stop before the line. So this is North York, and the street here is Wilson Avenue. I last rode this route on video over 4 years ago. I believe that was on July 4th, 2020. That was certainly a different world we were living in back then. If I remember to, maybe I'll link that one in the description. I recorded that one on my single speed bike. I certainly don't recommend taking this route if you're going north-south. Google Maps will suggest some side streets you can take instead. But we're going to be going through kind of an underrated and lesser known commercial area along Avenue before dropping down into Midtown. And let the record state I am pedaling rather than just riding on the throttle. This street is Carmichael Avenue. And some of the more affluent neighborhoods in the city I'm off of Avenue Road just up ahead here, such as Bedford Park. And although when you're on a bike you are able to take the full lane, I generally try to keep to the right. And most drivers are pretty good about leaving a full meter between you and their vehicle when they pass. But of course I will take the full lane as safety dictates. You have to be careful riding through door zones. What's this lady doing? I guess I can't really blame her. It is a very long distance between marked crossings. You can actually legally cross away from marked intersections. But the stipulation is you can't impede any traffic. That would be any motorists or cyclists. Bike shop, Spokes and Sports on the left. The Upper Avenue Community Market, I believe that's the name of the BIA. Someone's blasting some tunes. So Avenue Road gets interrupted south of Chaplain Crescent. By a large private boys' school, Upper Canada College. I'll give them the time of day and what semester it is. I'll see if I can just cut through the campus rather than take the same detour that motorists would have to take. This is Melrose Avenue. This area is serviced by a couple of buses, the 61, the 11C, and I think at night the 162. Nice downhill stretch here, I can just coast. Riding up to the starting point was a little bit hairy. I took side streets and still there were a number of vehicles that just blatantly ran through stop signs and intersections, not even yielding when it wasn't there right away. Saw a few cars get dangerously cut off. And a BMW was none too happy that I was going north on Avenue Road. Approaching the on-ramp to the highway, rather than wait behind me, it revved its engine and cut it very close, going in front of me. That's par for the course, riding in this city. The street here is Woburn Avenue. And Action Kid was commenting on his drive up from New York State, just how much worse the driving seemed to be when he crossed the border. There's a real lack of enforcement. As you can tell, proper cycling infrastructure. It's getting better, but it's still nowhere near where it needs to be. We're certainly not going to encounter too many people on bikes. On Avenue Road here. And sadly, we're going to go by a stretch of avenue where 2 cyclists lost their life earlier this year. This is Lawrence Avenue coming up. And coming up just on the left is a very exclusive all-girls school, Havergal College. There's been a number of notable alumni from there. That's just over there. I'm trying to twist the camera. Riding on the throttle, going as fast as this thing can, I think I'd easily be keeping up with traffic. There's Havergal. I don't know how much of the shot we can get in. This street is Otter Crescent. This is not a bike lane, but I'll take it, whatever it is. And we've caught up to a couple of buses. You can see those towers off in the distance to the left center of the shot around Yonge and Eglinton. And it's worth noting that I am no longer in North York. This is the old city of Toronto. This is Lytton Boulevard. Let me know down in the comments if you'd feel safe riding a bike on a stretch of road like this. I generally avoid these kinds of streets unless I'm recording. You haven't even seen many like Uber delivery guys out. The street is St. Clement's. There's a school by that name to the east of here towards Yonge Street. Look at that, someone's throwing out a lot of junk. Toasters. Looks like it might be a blender. It's Castlefield Avenue I just crossed. And this is Roselawn. This is a good route to go east-west through this area rather than Eglinton, which does have bike lanes at least partially installed, but it's a very half-assed and patchy job, only around crosstown LRT stations. It's the Marshall McLuhan Catholic Secondary School on the left. There's the CN Tower straight ahead in the center of the shot. And those two TTC buses are just up ahead. So I easily could have outpaced them if I were trying to. As we approach Eglinton, whoa, nice job, fuckface. There you can see Upper Canada College straight ahead. We are firmly into Midtown now. And the very affluent Forest Hill South neighborhood is just off to the west, which is to my right. Thing is clocking some of these cars at 39, 40. My speedometer says I'm going 32 and I'm just coasting. And you can hop on the Beltline Trail right here. Or just up ahead, actually. This is another park on the right. Well, it's the Beltline Trail. Maybe this heat's getting to me. This is a very long light cycle. So you could go left here. That'll take you to Memorial Parkway, and you can avoid. It's not really dead end coming up, where Upper Canada College gets in the way of Avenue Road. Of course, it was the pandemic when I rode through here before. Oh, here's a guy riding through. Security dude didn't say anything. Laidlaw Hall. I think tuition here yearly with boarding can be upwards of 30,000 Canadian a year. Track and field. I don't know if I got the camera twisted around enough to show it. There's a look at it. Yes, I bumped up my pedal assist going up those hills. You can hear the motor kick in there. Let me turn it back down to 1. As it's going to be mostly downhill from here on. And there's a lot of security people just milling about on this campus. Got a stop sign. Make sure this blue car here is going through. And Avenue Road continues. The next major street is St. Clair. And it's a stretch where traffic tends to move pretty quick. And they've recently built a bike lane north of Queen's Park on Avenue up to Davenport, so we can check out the status of that, if it's completed or if it's still under construction. But really, that's something that should have been built all the way up to St. Clair. There's still city councilors fighting it tooth and nail. I guess not enough cyclists have died for their liking. There's the Korean consulate on the left. I interviewed there way back in 2007. I applied for a visa, which I ended up getting and extending countless times. All right, we are south of St. Clair Avenue. You can tell I went up that hill much slower because I forgot to bump up the old pedal assist. That's Brown Public School, Junior, and City Community Center on the right. There's some gorgeous old apartment buildings that we're riding alongside, including this one on the left. And this street here is Balmoral. There's really no cars behind me. That's good news. As you can clock cars easily going 80, 90, and 100 on this stretch. My biggest concern is hitting a massive pothole. Going over 40. And this is Cottingham Street. There's the Midtown CP rail tracks just up ahead. I imagine, given the time, there might be a good volume of traffic heading south through the financial core, getting on the Gardner Expressway, or trying to get on the Gardner. And this is where DuPont starts to the east. We'll have to check the status of these new bike lanes. Just south of Davenport coming up. I'll stay to the left so any cars turning right can squeak through. Look at this. It's not like any cyclists have died around here recently. The window down. Nope. So this is the Yorkville neighborhood. Well, on the right side of the street is the Annex. On the left is Yorkville. And we're approaching Bloor Street. And south of Bloor, that'll be the end of Avenue Road. We'll be on Queen's Park. And for all intents and purposes, the bike lane ends here. A painted line is not infrastructure. As we're at Yorkville Avenue. That says road safety improvements. And a new protected bikeway are coming to Avenue Road from Davenport Road to Bloor Street West. Definitely an improvement over what was here. It's a little half-assed in some spots. But just behind me, in the springtime, I believe a delivery cyclist was hit, lost his life by a construction vehicle. I was actually out recording that day, and I happened to be in the area and came across the unfortunate aftermath. And about a month ago, just up here at Bloor Street, right around the corner, a cyclist was hit as a construction company blocked the bike lane, and she went around and was hit. And there's a lot of controversy and videos online of cops blocking the bike lane to go get coffee, including one who gave a concerned citizen the finger. They're only supposed to be in the bike lanes if they're actually responding to an emergency. And straight ahead, it looks like the bike lane is closed. Traffic must yield to cyclists, detour, go left. There's the Royal Ontario Museum on the right. But most people do what this guy is doing. We can merge over just up ahead. Decent crowd at the ROM this afternoon. Yes. But this is Queen's Park. And this will take us around the Provincial Legislative Assembly. Kind of the Canadian equivalent of a US state capitol building. Straight ahead, we can't really see it because the trees in Queen's Park are blocking it. And this street here is Hoskin Avenue. That's got a bike lane on it. And that turns into Harvard. the start of Wellesley Street on the left. Of course, the University of Toronto St. George campus just on the right. It just occurred to me, the last few bike rides I've recorded them in stereo audio. And I forgot to go with that setup on this one, so this one will just be in mono. Oops. I really should have gone ahead of this guy. There's the Legislative Assembly on the left. We're coming up on College Street, and just south of College on University should be a fancy widened protected bike lane. As we say goodbye to Queen's Park, hello to University Avenue, and look at this. And this is wide enough that an ambulance could take it if need be, as we are on Hospital Row. I wonder if that's why it was built so wide. It's much easier for cyclists to jump out of the way of emergency vehicles than motorists. As we are coming upon Gerrard Street West here, and a red light, where we're likely to see cyclists blow right through it. Case in point. Yeah, it's got a diamond in it. So I'd almost be willing to bet that this will be utilized by ambulances in emergencies. And this is something not just bikes talked about in a recent video, how oversized North American fire trucks are. And we're at Dundas Street West. Yeah, the bike lane's definitely narrower through here. You can see the financial district off in the distance over on the left-hand side. Queen Street coming up in a few blocks. It's the American Consulate just on the right. And Uber blocking the bike lane. So on the right is the entertainment district, on the left the financial district. These cyclists are turning right onto Richmond, which has a dedicated lane. And this is Adelaide, and traffic's going to be kind of thick from here down to the lake. And University Avenue ends just up ahead at Front Street. And it essentially merges into York Street. So at the front. This is King Street, a transit priority corridor. I think I might be better off going over to Simcoe Street. Than trying to navigate south front on York. We'll take a look. see what this guy does. Signaling left. Well, the idea was to follow this route all the way south, so I guess that's what we'll do. That's Union Station, just straight ahead. Hello, wall of traffic. This might have been quicker. Just a walker bike on the sidewalk through here.
That would go over there.
Good test of the low light abilities of this camera. I want to get in front of this truck. Bremner Boulevard. I don't think it would be too fun to be driving through here in a vehicle every day. Certainly not very fun on a bike. She wasn't honking at me, she was honking at that car turning into her lane. Who is now alongside me in this lane. You know what? It's that lady in the Ford who said, "What are you doing to that Volvo?" I thought she was saying it to me. The parade of right-turning vehicles has stopped. It's the Gardner Expressway. So I'm just going to go straight to Harborfront Center, I think, and we'll wrap up there. Which coincidentally is where I wrapped up yesterday's video. That was a walk down Bay Street all the way from Bay and Bloor. Harbor Street. We are almost there. You know what, instead of Harborfront Center, maybe we'll finish at HTO Park. So I failed to properly say it. Jump on the Martin Goodman waterfront trail here. That person's ringing their bell, but they would have had a red light. Gotta let people cross. Out of my way! Harborfront Center on the left. All right. So I'm going to be going left through here. HTO. Turn the e-bike completely off. What a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Can anyone just go there and buy a cocktail? I absolutely can't stand it when people decide other people want to listen to their music. Ain't nobody want to listen to that. This looks like a good spot to end our video. Let me get the other camera fired up here. Ka-chow. Well, I hope you enjoyed this ride down Avenue Road, Queens Park, University Avenue, York Street, and along the Martin Goodman Trail alongside Queens Quay and Lake Ontario. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support what I do on YouTube, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. My Instagram account is at Johnny Strides, and there's a super thanks button appearing down below if you wish to say thanks that way, and I'll put a link to this bike in the description if you're curious about that. And if I remember to, I'll link that ride I did 4 years ago down to Avenue Road. Anyways, I'm going to take a break and decide if I just want to go home or possibly do a live stream. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next one. Yoink.